First off, how everybody doing today?
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Got a little heat out there today. It's been overcast last few days, but it was good to get a little heat. Remind me of where I came from in Florida, hot sun for sure.
Are you guys is your crew where you want it in this deep into camp?
I definitely think we're heading in that direction. We with having the time that we have nowadays over the summer to spend a few hours with the guys throughout the weeks, I think that has definitely helped, and it has allowed our guys to kind of pick up where we left off this spring. And now we're kind of getting into, we started real elementary, but now we're getting into the middle school and trying to get into the high school stuff right now as well.
Who's emerging as leaders in your room?
I would say it's multiple guys. DeShon is being more vocal than what he has been in the past, which is good to see. Marques, he's always been a vocal guy, so he's doing a good job as well. And there's a couple of the other guys that we're trying to, push to do a little more. Malcolm, he's a really quiet guy, but I do see Malcolm at times pulling guys off to the side and coaching them up, so that's definitely a step in the right direction. And then Sierra is another guy that is emerging as a leader in that room, and he does the same thing as Malcolm, pulling guys off to the side, and he's also becoming a bit more vocal in front of the room as well. So I would say those four guys are the ones that are standing out as leaders.
How does DeShon fit into your scheme? How do you want to use him this year?
DeShon is a Swiss Army knife. The one thing about him, he's very unique with his size, his height, his length, his weight, his ability to come down and make tackles, his ability to cover in space, his ability to tackle in space. And so he's going to be a guy that is all around the field doing a lot of things. And Coach Butler's going to do a good job of putting our guys that we have tagged as our playmakers in position to do what they do best and affect the game.
Hey, you guys moved Donovan Jones to safety maybe a little bit. Like, how is he adjusting to not just maybe being a pure corner? What do you like about his skill set?
Dunny, similar to DeShon, he's a big, strong, fast, physical guy. And Dunny, he's one that safety is really his natural position. That's what he really enjoys playing. Corner is a position that he's really learned to play over the last year. And he's going to be a guy that we can really use at both. He's one of our better players on defense, we feel like, and as long as he continues to progress the way that he is, he'll definitely continue to play both spots, and he's doing a good job mentally with that right now.
It's a good problem to have, but is it going to be challenging to figure out how to get everybody who can play and is capable of playing on the field for your secondary?
Yeah, that's for sure. And like you said, that is a good problem to have, but just part of that daily process and guys coming in, who's been the most consistent. Who's been the most productive, and as a staff, we'll get together and we'll figure out, okay, these are our best 5 guys, and those will be the first 5 guys that go out there. But at the same time, Coach Rule is big on development and playing a lot of guys, so you'll definitely see a lot of guys playing the secondary that have earned their right to play.
You know who the best 5 are right now? Like in your mind?
I really do not, man. Those guys are battling. One thing that we're doing, we're mixing the groups up quite a bit, and not just mixing up the 1s, 2s, and 3s, but mixing the groups as different guys playing with each other. And so just seeing which guys fit the best, what chemistry the best, who communicates the best with each other. So we're definitely still in the process of figuring that out.
On Saturday, Matt mentioned Andrew Marshall and just how he likes his pro mentality, just how he takes things on. What have you seen from him this offseason?
Drew is a pro. He's a pro. I 100% agree with Coach Rule on that. And the one thing about Drew is that he has that chip on his shoulder coming from an FCS school, and he feels like, hey, I should have been here before now. But now that but he's not holding that as a grudge, against anybody else, but he's taking it and using that as motivation from a standpoint as, hey, I'm here now, so I'm going to go prove myself. And he has that mentality, whether we're in the weight room, whether we're running gassers, film room, wherever we're at, he has that mentality. He's a real competitor.
You have this many defensive backs and you're trying to figure out spots. Like, what are going to be the separators for you and the coaching staff to sort of determine who's where?
I would say the way that guys communicate, the physicality that they play with, the effort that they play with, and who can consistently execute on a high level. And then when you got a lot of guys execute on a high level, then you go, who's going to make plays? At the end of the day, who's going to make plays on the football? Because at the end of the day, playing a defensive back position, if guys want to earn more NIL money, if guys want to play in the National Football League, you got to make plays on the football. And so that would be the deciding factor in the end.
What's your comfort level with the corners right now and asking them to play a lot of man-to-man coverage?
Every day we're working it. Every single day we're working man techniques, and the guys they have bought into it. They're believing in it, and we're not perfect at all, and we still got a ways to go, but we're definitely headed in the right direction.
In media days, DeShon Singleton talked about fall production and how that's something that's talked about every day. Just how big a deal is that, getting more takeaways, or what does that mean to you?
It's a huge deal. Well, one thing we want to do is win the turnover margin. Protect the ball on offense, but take the ball away on defense. And if you look at the top teams, not just in the Big Ten, but in the country, if you look at the turnover margin, the guys that is plus, the more plus, they probably won a lot more football games. And I think it was 4 or 5 teams in the playoffs that were top 10. And so that's what we're thriving to do, protecting on offense and defense, taking it away. And again, as a defensive back position, everybody can cover, everybody can tackle, just talking about around the country. But if you want to have that opportunity to play at the next level, you got to be able to take the ball away. And there's multiple guys in it, like Trayvon Diggs. A lot of people give him a lot of flack, but the one thing that he do is take the ball away. And he take the ball away, he got $100 million. And so that's what it's all about, getting the football back to the offense and giving them more opportunities to score.
Coach, I guess on the flip side of that, going up against some of the receivers and Dylan obviously is a quarterback, how much of a challenge has that been, and how beneficial is that to prepare for the season?
It's been a challenge. I wish you guys could have been out there today. Those guys made some unbelievable catches and Dylan made some unbelievable throws. But the biggest thing is iron sharpens iron, and that's one of the big recruiting tools that we use, with trying to get guys here. You're going to play against high-level guys on the other side of the ball every single day. You're going to play against a high-level quarterback every single day. So why not come here and be a part of this? And so we're definitely, it's a battle every single day at practice between the offensive guys, skill guys, and the defensive skill guys.
You've been around a lot of camps in your career. What is different about Nebraska since you've been here now? Got around practice.
This is no knock on anybody. I've been in some really great places and worked for some really good football coaches, but the culture here is unbelievable. And just the locker room, I would say it's probably one other time I've been around something. That was 2020 when I was at Coastal Carolina. That was a really special year. And it was COVID, so it was a lot going on that year. But just how close the guys are in the locker room and how we can go out there and we battle every single day. But as soon as the whistle blow, coach calls everybody's hugging and they're in the locker room playing around and joking around. It's really, really powerful to see the guys coming together like that. So I would say that's probably the biggest thing.
Hey, Coach. On Saturday, Coach Rill talked about you guys have 9 practices in pad. Over the years, it used to be 2 days, a lot more physical. You talked about physicality as a key part of your defense. How do you teach that in just 9 practices?
So we are in uppers for more than that. So we do have those times where, not just tackling to the ground, but the main thing, and I believe I might have said this in the spring as well, but the one thing that we start with from a defensive back play is block destruction and tackling. All right, tackling the proper way, but first getting off blocks, because I'm real big on with the way that the field is spread and then guys just throwing a flare to the running back or throwing a screen to the wide receiver. And if we don't come up and be able to defeat blocks, you taking a -2 yard play or 0 yard gain and making it 10 or 15 yards. We never even got to worry about them throwing the ball down the field at that point. So that's where we start. And being physical, it's a mentality. It's something that's learned. We're not just born tough. But it's something that's learned over time, and you just got to get in that mindset that this is a physical game. And so our guys have definitely taken to that.
Coach, you got 3 players in your room that earned single-digit jerseys last year, and they're looked at as leaders on the defense. Just how is maybe your room stepping up across the entire defense as a leader?
Like I said, the one that I would say probably speaks out the most is Marques. He's one that speaks out the most, and he has command. He really do. The guys respect him, and I think that's because of the way that he work and just what he's been through his time here. And when he's on the field, he's a productive player. DeShon is one that we're still just grooming in that role, and he's definitely coming out of his shell, and I think he'll be one that'll be able to lead us this year as well.
The other transfers that you brought in, you mentioned Marshall, but Justin Brett and Jameer Khan, are they in a spot to be challenging for time in the rotation right now?
Yes, they both, for one, are doing a really, really good job. They worked their tails off this summer. Obviously, Jameer missed the spring, but he was always locked in on what was going on from a mental standpoint. And he this summer worked his tail off, and he's gotten himself back healthy a little faster than what the normal timeline would be. And he's doing a good job, and Justin Rhett's doing a good job as well.
Coach, when you talk about the battles with the wide receiver group, the one-on-ones, how physical you guys want to be, sometimes that can bleed over into extracurriculars after the whistle happens Saturday. How do you balance them being tough, physical, and confident with not doing something dumb?
Anytime we step on the field, it's physicality between the whistles, but once that whistle's blown, we got to have poise and confidence to be able to reset and go to the next play. And so constantly preaching that. All right, thank you, guys.
Thank you. With how multiple y'all want to be and how many different packages you want to play defensively, kind of how important is run fits, or kind of has there been an emphasis on run fits for safety?
100%. Safeties, nickels, corners, because at this point, and the way football is played now, everybody has to make tackles. And like, yeah, the safety may have the B gap or he had an A gap, but as he comes down, now the wide receiver's coming to crack him to force the corner to make a tackle. So that's all we're all back 5 guys in the secondary. We're constantly working on run fits for sure. All right, appreciate you all.